Hi. So I just finished filming a video that'll be posted later. So I see like some dots that because I got a little emotional while making it. So you'll see it later on this week when I post it. But I wanted to kind of expand on the video that I posted yesterday, which was I don't remember the date, but Friday. About stress and depression and anxiety. And I wanted to talk about some tricks and some tips and like some things that I've used in managing my own and some things that I've told clients to do as well. It's not a replacement for therapy. I mean, my first thing when anybody ever says that they're having trouble dealing with depression or even stress or anxiety, I was like, go seek a professional. I think sometimes people get like confused that maybe like once I go into therapy, I have to go forever. You don't have to. Sometimes things can be solved not solved, but you can get into solved is the worst word ever. And I'm kind of mad at myself that I said that, but, it's not just, it doesn't have to be long-term. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be long-term. It can be like 4 or 5 sessions and you get to a place where like you can manage this on your own. And like with my therapist, I don't see him on a regular basis anymore. Mostly because I moved to Cambodia. I probably would have saw him a lot more frequently. But now I've seen him once since I've been back, and I've been back almost a little over a month, somewhere in there. And I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I might go see him later on, maybe before the year ends or beginning of next year. But we're just at a place where I don't have to see him as often anymore. I'm in a maintenance stage, as we say. And I apologize for my mismatch in clothing at the moment and overall look. I'm in Nashville and I was supposed to be doing like some home improvement stuff to sell the house, but some plans fell through and my dad got sick and couldn't come down. So get well, Dad. And so I've been like cleaning some stuff up and putting things away and throwing stuff away, and so that is why I just wanted to film while it was still daylight. But anyway, back to the point. I have, like I said in the last video, I deal a lot with anxiety. I do have bouts of depression. They don't happen very often for me, and there are people who have it a lot worse than I do, and there are people who have anxiety a lot worse than I do. I don't. It's not like a comparative scale or anything like that, but I do deal with it. And for me, a lot of times, the first thing that I do when I'm having like some sort of anxiety problem, or not problem, but moment of anxiety, my words are escaping me right now. But when I'm dealing with it in a moment, usually what I try to do is center myself back to wherever space I was. So if I am dealing with it at work, I try to, like you see me right now, fiddling with stuff that's on the table. I try to like keep things at my desk where I'm working that are very tactile, that I can touch and hold and move around, because that helps me get outside of myself and center on something with my hands. Sometimes I'll doodle or I'll draw. I deal with it a lot of times in meetings. I get really anxious in meetings. So I have a ring that I don't have on at the moment, but it has 2 bands suspended on it that spin. And so I'll sit in meetings and spin that around, and they don't make any noise, so it doesn't bother anybody else. I draw a lot on my notes that I'm supposed to be taking for meetings. And so I have lots of big scenes and stuff that are happening. So I try, because I'd get anxious a lot just being in one spot. And so those are ways that I kind of deal with it there. But then if it's something that I feel like the anxiety is too much, I try to name the first 5 things that I see, the first 5 things that I smell, the first 5 things that I can touch, and the first 5 things that I can hear. So that takes me out of that, puts me back in the room. I also, and this is one of my like number one things when working with clients, is to go find someone that you know, someone that you trust, and identify that person wherever you are. If it's somebody at home, if it's somebody at work, wherever, call them, go. Like there was a therapist that I worked with that I had a really good rapport with, and our office is connected to each other. So I would go through the copy room into her office, and I'd be like, I'm having a problem. Like, I can't. And I mentioned it in the last video, and she would either talk to me, help calm me down, help me like figure out like how we could remedy the situation and get it to where it's not so anxiety provoking or stressful or whatever I was feeling at the time. And we were kind of that for each other. She dealt with it a lot too, so we would just kind of bounce back and forth. Also, I do a lot of like deep breathing. There is this like video that's gone viral that's of a shape that you breathe along with, so it opens up and then it collapses, and it opens up and it collapses. It's one of my favorite things. It's saved on the desktop of my computer. So if I'm reading the news or anything like that, if it's something that's going on and I'm feeling my anxiety build up, I breathe along with that. There is also, I do one where I tense up muscles from head to toe and then toe to head and just work the different muscle groups all the way up. I do that a lot when I'm trying to sleep. And I can't sleep because it relaxes my body and helps me kind of calm down so I can fall asleep. And I do a bunch of different things like that. I will list in the description box in the description box below. I'll list some different websites with some tips and stuff like that, and it'll also be in my blog entry that goes over all of what depression is and anxiety and what stress is, and will also give you some tips and stuff like that to do. And the lighting is changing because the sun is going down, so it's getting darker in the room, so I'm going to try to wrap this up really fast. But the one thing that I can say when trying to take care of yourself when you're dealing with anxiety or depression is please to get help. I understand that sometimes these can become so overwhelming that you don't know your way out. And sometimes you feel like the only way out is to end it. And we want you in tomorrow. And there are people who care. And there are people who want to see what your life looks like. And suicide is a very real thing, and suicide thoughts are very real and very daunting and very overwhelming. And please go see somebody. You're not weak. It's okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And just know that you are loved and you are important, and that we want you to be a part of tomorrow. So stay tuned for the blog. It'll be linked in the description box below. And I will see you all next week. Have a great one. Bye.